of the Winfield State League. Well, it's final day today. I'm glad you could join us here on Nine's Wide World of Sports, East and Central Queensland. Let's have a look how the two teams made it into today's final. Eastern Suburbs, well, they upset Valleys by 14 points to 8. And then, of course, it was Central Queensland who came out and played some fantastic football on Thursday night, and they downed Toowoomba 32-18. Toowoomba, for the third year in a row, missing out on a final berth in the Winfield State League.
Queensland and East. Central Queensland, the first country team into the final. We saw them in the semis, Andrew. They're a very flamboyant side. Not a lot of defence, but by golly, they scored a lot of tries. A couple of really quick wingers. I think they'll get away with this afternoon. I think they'll create history.
Well, in the State League, they've scored almost twice as many points as East, but still East, I think, are a fine attacking side. They haven't shown us their best so far. I think they'll have pinpointed Central Queensland's strength on Thursday night, as you referred to, the wingers, G. Bung Miller. It goes further than that. I think that Desi Morris might have something up his sleeves. We're going for the Tigers.
OK, we might take a break and be back with all...
In control, hits the whistle, and the State League final is underway. Here's Alberts. So Eastern Suburbs supporting the ball carrier on the final tackle. Inside the Capras 22. Mark McDonald. Price. This could be a big try. It is from Martin Quinn. Well, the Capras defence went missing. Beat Martin Quinn, steaming onto it out wide. The Capras had no answer. The big fellow in to score. Eastern Suburbs lead 4-0.
Well, some concerted attack from East. Mark McDonald coming in off his right wing to spark that movement, and that's how forwards, if they're out wide, should be running straight and hard. Marty Quinn, as I referred to early, showed a few of those characteristics on Thursday night, and he started today in the best possible way, taking a nice pass from Brad Price. As I said, he is a skillful player, Price. It's easy to throw passes when you know people like Martin Quinn are going to hit it like that. He's done it perfectly. He's got support outside, still got Darren Smith and Rod West. Doesn't need them. Gets outside one of Central Queensland's better players on Thursday night, Lloyd House. Is over in the line, and that could be crucial now.
No goal. Eastern Suburbs lead Central Queensland 4 points to 0. Curran. Sinclair to Muir. Price. Now Sinclair, hands free. Here's Eckert. Inside it goes to Dowden. And the Capras defence at 6s and 7s. Now Muir goes to dummy half. There's big Martin Quinn make that try number 2. And the Capras haven't got an answer to the big fellow at the moment. Martin Quinn for his second try. Eastern Suburbs leading Central Queensland 8 points to 0.
And outstanding support brought up that try. OK, Martin Quinn did the final job with Nicky Muir here, but it was just prior to that when all that support coming was nice and close. Again, Eckert gets a pass inside to Dowden. He doesn't throw a silly pass, gets up and plays the ball despite a bit of attention from the Capras. They've got about 3 men overlap out to the left. Nicky Muir finds Quinn. He didn't need the other two. He just barged through. Well, Peter White doesn't get to him. McCaffrey hasn't got the strength, and over he goes.
Hit that all right. Over. Eastern Suburbs lead Central Queensland by 10 points to 0. 13 minutes gone. Eastern Suburbs with a lead of 10 points to 0. Now through McCaffrey. Upcut. Elmore at the 22. 17 minutes gone first half. Upcut. Upcut. There's the support from Elmore. Peter Elmore's in. The Capras are back in business. Greg Upcut. He might look like the walking wounded out there, but when he decides to put on the toe, he was off like a startled rabbit. Elmore backed him up. East lead 10-4.
And he spotted this gap to the left of dummy half. Nobody covering that for East. He's got inside the defender, found Elmore in good support over the line, running strong. Now, there's not a tiger in sight there. Upcut takes full advantage, got a great step off the left foot. Elmore, who had previously taken the ball up, has come again to score the 4 points. So we've had 3 tries, all scored by forwards. Too late, Darren Smith.
Oh, after giving him the rap 6 from 6, he's made an absolute mess of that. Craig Walker, a little bit of touch of the nerves. Eastern Suburbs in front 10 points to 4. Back into position now. Sinclair and Price wrap around, and Sinclair finds a gap for Crosby. He'll go on his own. That's pretty poor cover. Very poor cover from the Capras. Bruce Crosby in to score. East lead by 14 points to 4.
And that's right, poor cover says it. Now, Peter Sinclair, the attacker, we'll see in the replay through the pass. Now, whoever was defending him then had to come across. Sinclair throws the pass. Around he comes, but the defender doesn't come with him. Sinclair creates the overlap, gives it to Price, and a simple stroll to the try line. There he is coming around, but no defenders coming towards him. The fellow from the wing has to come in on Sinclair, and that leaves the gap. That's the beauty of Sinclair. Whenever he throws a pass, he then gets round in support. Defenders don't always do it. G-Bung in 2 minds. He's got a fellow to cope with out here. Price says, I don't need to, well, it's not Price, Bruce Crosby, sorry. I don't need that man, I'll go myself. And so Crosby's and Quinn, the 2 new men in the east side, have scored the 3 tries between them.
And that's how it'll stay. 14 points to 4. East lead Central Queensland. 15 minutes to half-time in the Winfield State League final. And away goes Muir from dummy half. And that's a try. Well, defence non-existent with the Capras. They've got to get to half-time. They've got to get their act together and regroup, or this will be a cricket score. 18 to 4. Eastern Suburbs lead.
Well, if your defence is not tight around the ruck, around dummy half when Nick Muir is playing, he'll take advantage, as he's shown. He's beaten, I would say, 4 tacklers there. He's finally gotten the last one by Craig Walker, but not effective. Firstly got around Peter White, then Paul McCaffrey, then Craig Walker, tripped over, bang, over the line. So they've really got to sharpen up there. As we said before, East aren't too flash around it either, but Central Queensland are 14 points down. They're the ones who should be more concerned.
18 to 4 with this kick to come from Payne. And 20 points to 4 it is. The Winfield State League final coming away from Lang Park. And at this stage of the commentary, we welcome our friends in Townsville through TNQ to the Winfield State League final. Now, can Miller be put into inside a gap out wide from Paul White? White going on his own. Back to Miller. And now the chase will be on. Over the top to G-Bung, and he's caught in a desperate last ditch of the fence. Well, second last and then last. Gavin Payne, the man, coming over. But the Capras come alive. Just short of the 22. McDonald giving it to Muir and Price. Crosby, Payne. Now West. Has he got the speed to get to the corner? He has. Did it easily. That's the ball game. Eastern Suburbs in front by 24 points to 4. Very strong kicker, Payne. He's accurate, but not all that strong. Well, that's not strong and it's not accurate. It's neither, but it's 24 points on the board for East. Central Queensland have 4. There's 17 minutes to go in the final of the Winfield State League, and you're watching it from Lang Park. He's done his bit.
Bruce Crosby will come off for East, the number 17, replaced by Dave Patterson, number 11.
Sinclair giving it to West. Oh, yes. Space for Smith. Space for Smith. One pass. Sinclair. All class, Peter Sinclair. And I'll tell you something. When you look at the replay, have a look at the football now for Peter Sinclair. Did he know where to run? He took all the shortcuts and ended up right as Johnny on the spot. 28 to 4 the lead.
Muir in the pass to Sinclair. He started the movement prior to Smith making the break. Now, where is he? On the inside. He knows something's on. He's on Smith's shoulder. That's where he is. And he shows a bit of pace through the tackle of G-Bung over for East's 6th try.
Smith's had a blinder playing in the second row today. Did everything right. Sinclair was the right man at the right time. And he's a good player, Peter Sinclair. He's had a lot of bad luck with the Broncos, with injuries over the past, I think, 2 seasons. But when he's right, he's a very, very good footballer, a very skilled player.
And he's not one.
Lifts it over. East lead by 30 points to 4. Payne. There's the countdown. There's the hooter. It's full time. And Eastern Suburbs win the Winfield State League final for this year. The defeated Eastern Suburbs by 30 points to 4. Congratulations to Des Morris and the Eastern Suburbs boys, and congratulations to Central Queensland and their coach Greg Reynolds. I don't think... The other night, I don't think we saw one punch thrown from Central Queensland. I think we saw any today. They just went out there, they played at the best